awesome people. Today is day 2 of Driven. Woohoo! And day 2 of Driven is called The Choice is Yours, and it comes from Genesis 16 and 13. It reads as follows. She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her. You are the God who sees me. For she said, I have now seen the one who sees me. Real quick backstory. This is Hagar speaking. Hagar was the handmaiden of Sarai. Sarah and Abram tried to speed up the promise of God, help him with his plan to give them the promised child because Sarah wasn't conceiving. So she sent her handmaiden Hagar on to Abram, and they conceived. She became pregnant, and as you can imagine, having these two women in the same household as Abram trying to compete for his attention didn't work out too well. Sarah began to act shady and ugly toward Hagar, so Hagar ran away and ran into the desert. When she was there, she was met with an angel from the Lord who told her to return back to her mistress, that her descendants would be too numerous to count. This was a real big deal for her, to be told that her descendants would be too numerous to count, particularly given the time that she was living in. So Hagar went back to her mistress, and I think it's real important to make note that she didn't go back on a promise that said that Sarah was going to treat her well, that Sarah was going to treat her better. She went back to where she was supposed to be in that particular season based upon a promise that God had given her. And I think that should help us in some of our seasons and situations, that when we're going through something, if we can just get that one word from God, then we can go back on our job with those messy people, or we can make it to Thanksgiving dinner with some of those folks that we know that are lying to other family members about us, or we can go back to a relationship that seems like it's just not going to work out, but we get one word from God that tells us that go back because this is what I have in store for you. And so we need to be seeking that one word from God sometimes when it just feels like we want to run away from our situation. And we might get that word dropped in our spirit. We might get that word by reading the word of God, or somebody might bring us that word from God. But once we get it, we have to take hold of it and allow it to help us to go back to the situation that we need to go back to, because that one word can help to build our faith. And that faith, we have that faith not to deny the reality around us, but so that we can begin to change it. We can begin to speak words that are affirming to us, words that will speak into the situation. We can go back knowing that, okay, this is just for a time because God said this is going to happen. So I put my hope in him, because the word of God says that he who puts his hope in the Lord will renew his strength. He will mount up with wings like eagles. He will run and not grow weary. He will walk and not be faint. So we get that one word, and that one word is so awesome because we know that that word is just what we need in that particular time for that season. And it lets us know that we don't just serve an awesome God that is powerful, but we serve a God who sees us. We serve a God that sees us in our situation and knows what our needs are, and he will handcraft something for us. He will give us a word that we might have read time and time again, and it just really didn't make sense to us, or it really didn't touch us, but now it's resonating with us because we have gone back to something and we are seeing it and reading it in a whole different way, because God has now personalized it for our situation. So when we are going through some stuff, when we are starting to feel depressed or down and we want to run away, we want to prematurely leave a place that God said, no, you need to go back. You need to go back so that you can get the things that you need to get there, so that I can work things out around around you, so that when it's time for you to leave, everything is going to be ready for that promise to come to pass. So begin to seek God, meditate on that word, and hang on to it, and allow it to build your faith. Allow it to build your faith, so that you will know that this too shall pass, that joy will come in the morning. All right, now, change your perspective. It's your choice. It's your choice in what you're going to believe. Are you going to believe the one word from God? Are you going to believe the things and the chaotic things that are going on around you, thinking that that is your destiny? I think not. Make the right choice. All right, and share your takeaways in the comment section.